What we're going to do is we are going to convert RGB images to CMYK. And you're going to need to know, well, actually, for those of you who have never done this before, you may want to save this video or commit it to memory, the tasks, or the steps, I should say. But for the assignment, for exercise 3, there are several images that are RGB images that need to be converted to CMYK. And if you're not familiar with how to do it, basically when you have your image in front of you, what you would do is when you're in Photoshop, you would go up to Image, drop down to Mode, then you would switch it over to CMYK. All right, that's how you would do it. But then there's an easier way to do it where you can do this thing automatically. All right, so instead of doing this one at a time, we're going to automate this function so that you can set up an automatic function so that it will do it for every single one of them. So I have all of the images open, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Windows. I'm in Photoshop. Go up to Windows. I'm going to drop down to where it says Actions. And then what I'm going to do is, I already have that set up here, but I'm going to set up a brand new one so you can see how we do it. The one that I have set up is called CMYK to RGB. So what I'll do right now is I'm just going to set up another one so that we can actually do it together. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on a folder, because that's going to be the action. And we're going to call this thing CMYK. We're going to call this thing RGB, all right, to CMYK. All right, that's going to be our action, and here it is right here. All right, next up, we're going to start by adding the steps to our action. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to you can, whatever pops up, I'm going to call that action 1. All right, and we can say record. So we're going to click on record. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the wheels in motion. So the first step is we're going to go up to Image, drop down to Mode, slide over to CMYK. Once we do that, we'll just say OK. All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is, now that it has been converted to CMYK, we're going to go up to File. We're going to say Close. We're going to actually close this, and then we're going to get another prompt that asks us if we want to save it. We're going to say yes. We're going to save it. All right, it's going to ask us, if the image options. Yes, we want the quality at 12. We want maximum, so we can keep that default right there. All right, then we can say OK. All right, and then as you can see, it closed. Now at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to stop the video. All right, because basically that was the function that we just performed for converting RGB to CMYK. So now that we have this action right here, we're going to click on Action, all right, and basically we're going to play it. All right, so basically we stopped this. The first thing we did was we created this action. We stopped it when we closed it, and now what we're going to do is just play it by hitting the play button right here. Once we hit the play button, as you can see, it's just going to run through each and every single one of them, all right? And it's going to actually make the conversion and close it up. You may get this option here because maybe the RGB mode is a little different, but that's okay. You just click OK and keep moving. Now this one is taking just a little bit longer than it should to save, but it's saved, and that's it. So basically, to recap, what you want to do is you're going to set up an action in Photoshop, RGB to CMYK, all right, and then you just, once you've had the action set up, you just run it, you play it, and but make sure you have all of your photos open, so it just goes from one frame to the next, to the next, to the next, and then it's all done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the images. Here the images are all here, all right. I'm going to open up just one of them, okay. And then as you can see, once I open it up, you can see that it's saved as CMYK. All right, okay, so that's the long and short of it. Just a little tip to help you to save your images as CMYK images